Hundreds of thousands of civil servants in South Africa have embarked on a nationwide strike over wages and working conditions. Local media describe the strike as the first major industrial action by public servants in the decade. It is expected to cause disruptions in some government departments and airports. Members of the Public Servants Association had for weeks stayed long-time pickets, but have now decided on a full-scale shutdown in major cities across South Africa. They resorted to going on strike following a breakdown in negotiations between the union and the government. The presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, has consistently turned down invitations to public fora to share his plans, especially when other contenders for the office of president had been invited too. Instead of sharing a common platform with others, the former governor of Lagos has instead preferred running his own show by addressing a select group of stakeholders across the political economic spectrum. Ayobami Oyalowo is a political and development economist and member of the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council. He joins us now to discuss what informs Tinubu's campaign strategy. Many thanks for joining us. You're welcome to Newsday.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So can you educate us some more on what informed this campaign strategy to shun debates organized by the media and instead organize his own town hall meetings?
Well, I think you must understand that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has his own plan. We have a few months to campaign, and the Presidential Campaign Council has sat down and we have fashioned out a calendar of activity for our presidential campaign, for our presidential candidate and his vice. And as such, we will not be distracted by unnecessary mushroom appearance here and there. We'll rather concentrate on the plans that we actually have. Our plan is to ensure that we speak to the correct stakeholder. We don't want to engage in unnecessary breakbart. We don't want to engage in unnecessary debate that bears no fruit. If I ask you a simple question now, there was one that was held a few days ago. If you ask any Nigerian today what was discussed there, nobody remembered. Everybody remembered the breakbart between a presidential candidate and one of the presidential jesters that came with him. So that is something we don't want to be involved in. We have more serious things to do. For instance, today as we speak, our candidate is in Nasarawa today. He's meeting stakeholders in the mining industry. So we have a plan that we have mapped out, and we will not be distracted or derailed by unnecessary appearance. We don't want to prove anything to anybody. We rather want to convince those people who need to to be convinced, because right now he's talking to some other people. By the next few days, we have other plans, and all these things are part of the manifesto to speak to those who will help us run those manifestos when it becomes our action plan as a government that will be formed come May 29, 2023. So those are the plans. It is not to get involved in unnecessary showmanship that eventually bears no fruit.
Understandable, you not wanting to engage in showmanship, but isn't that the nature of politics? I want to piggyback on Temi Tokbe's question, because it seems that we didn't exactly pinpoint exactly what informed the informal strategy that Tinubu seems to adopt. It seems quite ingenious, getting a group of individuals who are quite well versed in their various sectors of the economy and business to speak on his behalf, because no one man can be, an expert on all things. So could you explain to us what informed that strategy? As you do know that the critics have said that what has informed the strategy is the fact that Tinubu does not like to be in environments where he does not control and does not have a certain level of exertion over. So you have the opportunity to clear that up for us right now. So what informed the strategy, please?
Thank you very much. You just said something that you actually answered the question for me, and let me help you again to say what you just said. You said he has gathered a group of experts to be able to help him handle specific areas. If you follow Tinubu's trajectory, that's Asiwaju Bola Tinubu's trajectory, you will find out that he has never told anyone that he's a tree that makes a forest. He's a man who has always worked as a team, in a team of people, and he has never, if you can ask other people and they will tell you this, because I have had the time to speak with the current Minister of Works and Housing, and he has told us, and other people have corroborated what he said, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as the head of the government of Lagos State during the time as governor, never makes the decision alone without ensuring that it is exhaustively discussed and debated. And that is what you are seeing in his time. That's why we are telling people that Nigeria are in for a good time. Asiwaju Tinubu's government will not, as a president, he will not sit down and pretend to know everything and then model up things and lies and throw around unnecessary statistics. He will rather ensure that he puts in people that know their job and ensure that they do the job. That is the kind of government he runs, and that's the kind of government he's still going to run. A government that will be of people that are he will put in people that you will call round peg in round holes and so on and so forth. He's not going to pretend to know everything. Or rather, he will work with experts, knowing fully well that this person knows this area and he will handle it well. His job as a president, like we've been telling everybody, is not to go and run marathon in the villa. It's not to fight boxing or carry bags of cement. Rather, his job is to coordinate people, eggheads, people who know their jobs, and ensure that they deliver. And that's what people do. I mean, let me use a simple example that everybody can relate with. If you know a good bank today that is doing well in Nigeria, the MD is not is not the teller, he's not the marketer, he's not the branch manager, he's not even the divisional head. The MD just ensures that he sits there as the MD of the bank, but there are people in all the facets of the bank, departments and divisions who know their job. And that is the kind of presidency Tinubu is going to form for Nigeria. He's going to be the head of a system that works, a system that will deliver to Nigerians. And that is what you are already saying. He is already showing it clearly with the way he's going about his plan. He's not just going around talking blah, 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 and making noise and disturbing the environment. He's rather meeting with the right people, passing the right messages, and ensuring that he's moving along with the right people who knows what should be done in every area and sphere of our lives, so that together, when it becomes a system, that system will work and deliver to Nigerians. That is the plan for us.
Well, very well said. Thank you so much for that. Now, earlier while you were speaking, you talked about the town hall meeting that was held over the weekend, and you referred to it as a mushroom gathering. Well, it was held by the Nigerian Guild of Editors, Arise TV, Premium Times, Nigerian Union of Journalists, and so many other prestigious media organizations. So we actually do take exception to the use of the term mushroom. Now, I'm going to take you back to...
I actually didn't mean that one as the only mushroom. I'm talking about so many other small gatherings over there. So, yes.
Well,
it's not about what you heard. It's about the fact that even if you look at all of them, my story still stands. If you ask any Nigerian today what was discussed in that forum, all you will remember is the brickbat between a presidential jester and a presidential joker, and nobody can pinpoint one single thing that was achieved in such. So we would rather look for a system that works. And let me also clear this.
Mr. Oyalowo, I'm going to have to interrupt you because we don't have a very long time to have this discussion. So I would like us to address the issues. Yes.
But let me quickly just say this, that Asiwaju Tinubu will appear on TV to actually answer correct questions at the right time so that Nigerians will be educated. We don't want to win a debate. We actually want to win an election.
All right, I'm happy to hear that. Now, yesterday, Festus Keyamo was on television. He was defending your principal from any involvement in alleged drug trafficking in the United States. Now, the question is, why isn't Bola Tinubu defending himself? He's an educated adult. He's articulate, and according to your campaign, he's physically fit, he's mentally fit. So why is he not talking to the media? He wants to be the president of Nigeria, not a select few. So why not begin as you mean to go on?
Asiwaju will speak to the media when he's ready to speak to the media, not when anybody wants to force him to speak. I can assure you he's going to speak when he's ready to speak. Every issue will be cleared when the time comes. He will not be railroaded into doing what... See, like today, for instance, now, like I'm telling you, is in a particular town hall with miners and people who work in that industry. So there are plans. There are plans,
exactly
and the day he will face the media...
That's what I'm trying to understand. Because earlier you said he's going to be talking to the correct stakeholders. You said you'll be talking to those people that need to be convinced. Is it that he's going to be a selective president? Is it not going to be a president for all Nigerians? So why is he choosing and picking the people that he's talking to?
You apparently want to argue with me. If you are listening, you will hear what I just said.
I am listening,
I said
and I want to understand.
To the media when he's ready to speak to he will speak to the media when he speaks to the media. We have already drawn out a plan and calendar, and we will not change our plan because of anybody. We will follow the plan the way it is, because this plan was not a plan that he sat and forced on us. It's a plan that the PCC sat for hours, for days, to develop, and we will follow that plan as rigidly as we can. Yes, we will make small allowance here and there, but we will stick strictly to the plan as much as we can. And when the time for media engagement and such kind of thing that you just mentioned comes up, I can assure you 100%, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu will do that when that time comes. You can take my word, it's a given. It will be done.
Well, we're dead smack in a campaign season. I would say that the time for media engagement would be now. I'm sure others agree with me, but let's move on.
We have from now to campaign. We have from now till February 24. Come on. We have more than 4 months. So, 3 months. So there's still enough time. We are all acting as if the election is tomorrow. We have the entire December, the entire January, most of February to do this thing. So we still have over 3 months. So there is nothing to worry about.
For the sake of time, I'm going to
speak with the media when the time comes.
For the sake of time, I will agree with you and continue with the question. Is there no fear that, with these types of arrangements like you've discussed, these different from the regular political season rollout of events that we have been seeing, pre-presidential engagements, could it not give the impression of arrogance? And excuse me for, for highlighing this. Okay. It seems could you just let me answer my...
I won't take offense on that.
Can I? Yes, it seems that a lot of those who represent the APC in this current administration, or Bola Tinubu's soon-to-be administration, they're quite argumentative, especially with the media. We try to engage you all in a discussion, and like you said, it turns into an argument. We've seen this with Ajuri, I can't pronounce his last name, but he was on our show earlier on in the week, and it seemed quite, things get a little aggressive, and it's like a discussion is hard to have when someone is continually jumping in. So don't you think those kinds of things, the media rounds with individuals who seem a little bit unnecessarily aggressive, don't you think those things could make the campaign look unnecessarily arrogant and might turn Nigerians away? Or is that a campaign strategy that you have to send out the attack dogs to make sure that things are, once you attack, people don't want to attack back? Is that some kind of strategy, or is this just the personalities that you all have?
First and foremost, I was in the middle of something when I got this call. So if we were arrogant, I would not come in here. And I'm sure the person who arranged this meeting will tell you I was not the first person that was called. The PCC was called. Someone else was invited before I was called. So if we were arrogant, first and foremost, we will not even appear on any of your TV. Now, to now put this very clearly, we have had the media not doing their job. The drug thing that you mentioned, for instance, is a case that has been opened and closed. The American embassy has written to the former IG, Tafa Balogun, to say Bola Tinubu has no issue. What we would have expected is if the media was professional, they would do an investigation and come out and say, oh, these are the issues, and these are the issues, and this case was well dealt with, and this man has no problem. But unfortunately, if the media continue to run on hearsay, on rumor, on beer parlor gossip, you will keep having this attitude from the people who you engage, because it is quite insulting and demeaning when we are spoken to the way you people speak to us, and you expect someone not to feel it. So clearly, the media must do its job and also act professionally so that you don't push people to defend themselves. So these are the issues. If the media does its job, does what you call investigative journalism, and come out with proper result without trying to come with what you call, what I will refer to as a preconceived notion, you will not get this kind of attitude. That is the truth.
Mr. Ayobami,
there are preconceived notion. People just want to admit, they want us to admit to something, and
like
then so that they will say, well, okay, we will not admit to what we feel
the luxury of time. It would have been so nice to, elongate this interview and continue to speak. But unfortunately, we are out of time. We are doing our job, which is why we invite you, to come and clear the air and speak on issues. So thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.